Lizzy was Daddy's little girl. She overflowed the room with happiness and love. Out of the blue, she would just come give me a hug, or a kiss, or just say, I love you.
Yeah.
And for a dad, that just melts your heart.
All three of them are inseparable.
Yep.
Just always having fun, always playing together, sleeping together.
She was the big sister, 5 years older than the next, which would be Danny.
They loved her. They absolutely adored how much, because she would just play with them.
She went out of her way to please everybody.
Yeah, we did like the family readiness group with the military, so that was lots of volunteering and helping the community. And she did care packages for Leo's, for the law enforcement too. With the shopping with the sheriff, that was one of her favorite activities. Absolutely loved it. She just always loved to help. So with the accident, that was a birthday party we were going to. We always had like a no bounce house rule, but they also had like a water slide, and so the kids were playing on the water slide, and finally, once the party started to die down a little bit, I was like, yeah, you guys can go in the bounce house, that's fine. And Lizzy had just gone in to go back into the bounce house. And I was like, okay, I'm like 5 more minutes, and she was like, okay, it's picture perfect at the moment that she was like, okay, like just her little like, okay, like went into the bounce house. It was within seconds of her going in. There was a big gust of wind, and everybody was yelling for the kids to get out. And I just remember screaming like, get out, and going to grab the baby. But when I went to grab her, the water slide lifted up and took me out. Like it flew over the top of me. I fell to the ground. It ended up turned around, and like turning back around to see the bounce house go along. Like I saw one kid fall out of the bounce house, and then the bounce house go along the power lines. And then I grabbed Abby. It was the things you're like, this is gonna be something you're gonna laugh about later, right? Like that a bounce house gets caught up on a power line. Like you don't think that that's what's gonna happen. Like I'm trying to hold the baby. I'm holding her the whole time, and like just shaking because 2 of my kids are up in this bounce house. So then they got the big extension ladder and got the one boy out. Then they got Danny out, and his face, he wasn't crying, and his face was just petrified, I guess. Like he was just quiet. So they brought him down, and he didn't even really come to me. We set him down by the boy for the paramedics to start to look at him. And then the firefighter went back up to get her, and he got her out, and I just started to scream because you just saw she was lifeless. We went in on the Sunday. Monday they did the CAT scans and extra testing and stuff, and then Tuesday they do a test to confirm. So Tuesday the 16th is when she was confirmed that she was brain dead. So then we had to have the discussion about, what do you want to do? Do you guys want to do organ donation? It was like within 30 days of the accident that we'd had this conversation with her. And she was like, well, what does that mean? And we're like, well, that they cut you open and give your organs to someone who needs it. And she was just like, ugh. And she goes, we're like, but Mitch goes, but you'd be dead. And she's like, oh, well, and it would help other people. And we're like, yeah. She goes, okay.
The honor walk for us, because the support was so great. We had a lot of military, fire, paramedics, law enforcement, friends, and family. For us, it was quite amazing to see
the support was awesome.
Yeah, it was a huge support.
She ended up being able to help 3 kids. So it was her kidneys and her liver. Helped 3 different kids.
It makes me feel like she's still here on Earth in a way. But then obviously very sad because I had to lose my daughter.
Because you are an organ donor in the state of Nevada, you're going to get a warning, and you're going to get a thank you for being an organ donor. You're willing to give somebody else a second chance with organ donation. We're willing to give you a second chance to get your registration taken care of.
The Second Chance campaign is where we have partnered with Donor Network West. And so for a 1-week period, we go out, and when we stop somebody for a minor traffic infraction, at the deputy's discretion, when we determine that somebody has become or will consider becoming an organ donor, instead of giving them a ticket, we give them a second chance because they have chosen to take the selfless act of giving somebody else a second chance at life by becoming an organ or tissue donor.
So no cite, no warning, anything like that? It's basically just a way of saying thank you for being an organ donor, and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
One donor can save up to 8 lives through organ donation and heal up to 75 through tissue.
This is the way law enforcement can continue to build that partnership with our community while also having a positive impact. When we say we want to keep our community safe, it's not always about writing citations.
Doing the Second Chance campaign.
This is a campaign that we can do all the time because, again, when we make those traffic stops, we're still bringing awareness and the safety of being on the roads and driving responsibly and obeying the laws. But now we're also having another impact on bringing awareness to an important topic in our community.
Sadly, every day across this country, 17 people will die because they just never got their transplant in time. Only 1 out of 1,000 deaths occur in a way where someone can even be an organ donor. And so the more people who say yes to organ donation, the more likely that we will be able to transplant the 600 Nevadans who are awaiting a life-saving transplant and the tens of thousands of people who are waiting across the country. People who are on that transplant wait list, sometimes they wait for a number of years. Here in Northern Nevada, someone who's awaiting a kidney might wait 5 to 7 years.
Our hearts go out to the families that lose loved ones, but also our hearts go out, and I want to personally thank from all the men and women of the Sheriff's Office for those that have chosen to be an organ donor and tissue donor, because you are giving somebody else and multiple people a second chance if something happens to you. So we want to say thank you.
I feel like if we can do it with our biggest gift, you know, of our child, why wouldn't everybody do it? You know, if you can give someone else the chance to have their kid longer than we had ours, why wouldn't you?